Hello again. It is Wing Nation presented by Hercules Tires. Right on our strength. Talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week. And we are so glad that you have joined us. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post here. Erin, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Okay, so last week we spent the entire week saying, okay, end of February, we're drawing a line.
Yes.
Okay. Pennsylvania, they still got in even though we drew the line afterwards. But that's Pennsylvania. That's it. I'm so optimistic. I've got fingers crossed, I've got everything crossed. It looks like we're coming up on a weekend where we might see some sprint cars.
It does, between the location of the tracks that are going to run and
absolutely.
The forecast.
Phew. Exactly, yes. So there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and maybe it's not an oncoming train. Let's hope. Good stuff. That is for sure, and really, really neat. I just can't wait. I'm so geeked up about it. We had all the storylines in Florida, and then it's
like a tease. Yeah.
And it just disappeared. And it's been so bad that Pete Walton got rained out one night.
I know.
That's how bad. When Pete Walton gets rained out, you know, it's crazy. It really is. Let's take a look at our Hefner Racing products, hot topics. The Icebreaker at the fabulous Lincoln Speedway. Pennsylvania Posse fans, they got us. They got their snoot full of sprint cars, didn't they?
Yeah, and they don't mind some cold weather.
No, not at all. It's crazy. Tim Wagaman got the win. We're going to talk to Tim. I can't wait to talk to him.
Yeah.
Great story. Looking forward to chatting with him. So, so Pennsylvania got going. USCS, now we talk about one race getting rained out. They did run at Hattiesburg, Mississippi. It was Paulie Colangiovanni. No, I'm
going to leave this to you.
Colangiovanni. I put an N in there, and I have it wrong. It's Colangiovanni.
Okay. I'm just going to go with Paulie.
Paulie, that's right. Hey, Paulie, Paulie. Yeah. I have I had it in my notes, and I crossed it out. And so, but he's an ESS champ. You're familiar with that gang up there.
Yeah, old territory.
So we're going to talk to Paulie. The Toller Memorial at Marysville. California's in this weird spot. We're going to talk a little bit more about California later on in the show. But cars, 360 cars are not a problem. 47 of them showed up at Marysville. Blake Carrick picked up the win. To me, the big thing, though, is just the optimism. World of Outlaws, fingers crossed again. Friday night, Volusia. I'm telling you, East Bay, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, it is.
That's going to be really fun. They have, because of all of this schedule, and we talked about it last year with Wayne County. We talked about it with Wayne County. Because of all the COVID, it's putting them in spots where they go to places they normally don't go. Wayne County was, and then, just huge last year. East Bay is going to be fun.
Have they, when was?
20 years ago.
I was going to say, I don't remember, was it on the schedule when I raced? Yeah,
20 years ago they went to, I think that's what I read, 20 years ago.
But it's neat because a lot of the drivers have experience there because they've run,
Yeah, the 360, the king of the 360s down there and that sort of thing. So, it's good. It's really good. So great fun. Fingers crossed. And the weather looks good in Pennsylvania. I saw Danny Dietrich post yesterday that they had some rain, but the rest of the week's going to dry out. So and Lincoln Speedway, kudos to them for pulling this off. I mean, I understand it was a heavy track. I get that. It's February in Lincoln, and they've had rain, and they had to shovel snow.
I was going to say, they had to get rid of some snow.
So I get where they're at with it all, but we got races, and that's the big thing.
Yep.
So it's
Cars
cool.
on track.
Cars on the track, yes. Little 410 rumble there. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And the Posse fans
and a few
are great.
beers consumed.
Yeah, a few beers, yeah. Well, then when they were doing the slip and sliding in the mud and the snow, I'm like, Pennsylvania's back. Yep, absolutely. But it was cool. And I love, you're following along on Twitter Saturday afternoon. First car in the pits, first car out of the truck, first car to put engine heat in, first car to that, first car to that. Brandon Raymer was technically the first car on the track, but it didn't fire, and so fired first. I'm like, I love it. We love our Posse fans, that's for sure. So 8 up with sprint cars, and fingers crossed we'll get another race at Lincoln, and Port Royal gets open this weekend. So lots and lots of good. And there you have it, your Hefner Racing products. Hot topics. Hepner Racing Products, the home of HRP Wings, original recessed rivet wing manufacturer. They use wind tunnel and track performance testing to outpace the industry in design, innovation, and functionality.
And it's not only sprint cars. They have Lightning Sprints wings, micro and junior sprints. They're shipped across the world and can be economically ground shipped to your door.
I'll tell you, I was up there, and they just a neat spot. I did a video a couple years ago on their wing production. It's amazing what they do,
Yeah.
and what I really respect about it, and it's weird. My buddy Jeff, I said it's like a wing graveyard, but they have people when you wad one up, they want you to ship the wing back so they can learn from it.
Oh,
So it's
man, I wish they had that when I was racing.
Why,
Because our wing graveyard was behind our shop, and it was embarrassing.
Oh yeah, well see that. Well, that's probably why the teams are like, no, I'll ship it back. I'll get rid of it,
I would
get
have
it
been
out of
happy
here.
to ship it. Get
But
it
then
out.
they can take a look at it and make sure the brackets and the bars and everything like that. So there's
Man, Jeff, where were you when I needed you back then?
well, Jeff, you know, what I mean, he'll hook you up there. So you can find out more at www.hrpracing.com. We mentioned the fabulous Icebreaker at Lincoln Speedway. Take a listen to this. Tim Wagaman and Kyle Moody restart. Wayne Harper with the call on Flow Racing.
And now for the Dryden death-defying move of the week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
On the restart, Walkerman grabs the lead as they go down the back stretch, and Walkerman, your new leader.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Death, the official death of the world of outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
For decades, Dryden Lubricants has been made in America and made to last, paving the way on our highways, in our fields, and on the production line. Today, Dryden offers a complete line of engine oils, greases, hydraulic and transmission fluids, and diesel exhaust fluid. If you want greater performance and protection for your critical engines and equipment, go to Dryden.com. Dryden, American owned and operated, and a proud supporter of racing and race fans everywhere. Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTires.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the tire tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTires.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength. Sage Fruit has been a longtime supporter of sprint car racing, sprint car fans, and us here at Wing Nation. What they pride themselves on most is providing shoppers with the highest quality, best tasting apples, pears, and cherries available. Go to sagefruit.com and make sure you ask your local grocer for Sage Fruit. So we get the Icebreaker started they delayed it, Erin, so that they could shovel more snow off because it was a nice day.
They delayed 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. So we get it in, so we're all excited to have racing. And then we get the most incredible story standing in victory lane. Tim Wagaman, a 39-year-old racer from Hanover, Pennsylvania, picked up a win 6.5 years ago, 2014, August 10th, 2014, I think it is. And here he is back in victory lane again, and here he is on the Dryden hotline. Hello, Tim. Welcome into Wing Nation.
Hey, guys. How are you?
We are doing well, Tim. Congratulations. Boy, you've worked hard for this one. That had to be a pretty special moment on Saturday afternoon standing in victory lane, and really since then, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure. We really didn't know what to expect going into it. Obviously, everybody's emotions are pretty high, and get the first race out of the year, and so everybody's amped up, and everybody's trying to work really hard to get that first win. So it was real nice to get there.
Tim, talk about the race. The track conditions obviously weren't ideal, but hey, it was a race, and we got the Icebreaker in. The track was really heavy, a little bit tricky, kind of one lane, but you made that outside work on that restart. Talk about the race and that pass for the lead.
Oh, for sure. The track was very narrow, so we kind of knew that going into it, that it was pretty heavy, so we really didn't change a whole lot all night. So I really wanted to kind of use that move at the beginning of the race, but, at the initial start there, I wheelied right away, so I kind of just fell into place and was kind of just riding around in second there just to try to maintain. And a caution came out there on lap 5, and I figured I had to at least try to make something happen, and we were fortunate enough to make it stick, and we got the lead, and kind of just rode around there for the next 25 laps. I mean, we call it lap traffic, but the older I get, the more of a smart racer I believe I've become, and so I just kind of rode around there, and I know those guys were catching and falling back and catching and falling back, but I wasn't going to push the issue with the lap cars there. I mean, I didn't need to be the fastest car at that point in time. I mean, I just needed to not screw up and make really, really good decisions, and it paid off.
Tim, when you used that move on the restart to get the lead, you used the outside, and the outside wasn't really an option during the race too much because it was so heavy you could easily bicycle or get yourself in trouble. But you had multiple restarts as the leader. How do you protect yourself from that happening to you without leaving the door open on the bottom lane?
Well, when I made that pass, it was on a restart, so I was kind of riding around there and trying to flatten out, the marbles a little bit. And, like I said, you have to take a chance sometimes. And luckily enough, it helped me out this time. But going into on every restart, I tried to get a really good restart and make myself as wide as possible. And try to just get my right rear up enough to where they couldn't, drive around me too easily if that were the case.
Tim Wagaman, our guest here on the Dryden Hotline. Tim, you get the ride with Travis Esch last year, and then the COVID hits, and last year's kind of like, man, there's nothing worse than a first season new deal with last year. But I have to say, it seems like as the season unfolds, I think as I watched the last month and a half of last year, I'm not surprised you're in victory lane. It appears to me that once you guys hit your stride last year, you were rolling pretty good at the end of the year. Is that how you felt about it? Was that the case?
Yeah. So last year was a screwed up deal for everybody. With COVID, and last year I started a business, and we were kind of trying to go through our growing pains there. So it kind of wasn't fair to either one of us there at the beginning of the year. We were kind of struggling a little bit, and we both kind of got into our rhythm and got the car to where we wanted it. And I got to feeling a little bit better. And as the months progressed, I started feeling a ton better, and we started finding some speed, and we really had a good showing against the All-Stars there at Lincoln. And, we just kind of kept it going. And, the end of the year there, we had a third place finish at BAPS, which we were fortunate to lead a few laps, and our motor kind of went a little sour. A head gasket went bad on us, so I don't believe we were the fastest car there, but to hold on to a third place finish was really, really nice. So I think that the more we get to know each other, the better we're going to be. That was our 27th race together, and I think the sky's the limit for this team if we can keep going.
Tim, what are your emotions after winning on Saturday? I mean, obviously, it's great to get the season opener. It's a relief to win after a few years of not. What are the emotions? How exciting was Victory Lane?
Oh, it's nothing like it. That's why we do it. It's so addicting, and you pour so much into it. So it feels really good. Everybody wants to do that every single week, and you get so close so many times, but at the end of the day, there's only one winner. So you take what you can get and just try to do it as often as you can. And I was through a drought there for a long time, but in our defense, we've only raced maybe 15, 20 races total per year, and that's just not, that doesn't cut it when you're racing against some of these guys that race 80 races.
Yeah, that's right. Now, what I'm wondering about is I watched them dump beer over your head in Victory Lane, which first off is alcohol abuse where I come from. Okay, but that had to be a messy mess and a little cold once you got done with the day and kind of caught your breath.
Yeah. Everybody was kind of amped up there. It was very cold, but it definitely it meant a lot. I'm just glad people are happy. We put so much into it, and to see everybody smiling and all the fans there and stuff. That was pretty cool, especially being the first race of the year.
That's awesome. Tim, what does your schedule look like for the year? If all things stay open and life continues on as they should, what does your schedule look like?
As of right now, we're gonna continue to run Lincoln Speedway every week. We're gonna try to hit as many of the BAPS shows as we can. As far as that goes. And then we're going to be hit or miss if we get an opportunity to. I mean, if we keep continuing to race well, we'll have better financing, so we can keep going. We don't really. I mean, we have a 35 scheduled races right now, but obviously, if we can come into some sponsorship help or keep continuing to race top fives, we'll probably race a few more times than that.
So exciting. It really, truly is. You mentioned, Tim, that you started a business last year, which starting a business in a pandemic, again, not that we saw it coming, but the Hanover Off-Road and Accessory, you started that. One of the other aspects of your life, and I saw some congratulations on this. Am I right? The Harrisburg Rampage traveling baseball team, you're a coach and the president of that league. Is that right?
It's the Hanover Rampage. So
Hanover Rampage.
Last year I started Freedom Off Road, which is actually on our wing panel, and that was I don't know if I'm crazy or just silly, starting a business during the pandemic, but it's something I wanted to do, and we did it, and we're just we're trying to claw our way to the top on that. I also like I said, I coach the Hanover Rampage, and I also coach football at the middle school here, our local middle school, and coach high school baseball at our local high school. So I got a lot on my plate, but like I said, I go to bed tired at night. I try to put so much into our community because it means so much to me.
Well, then the community outpouring this week must have been spectacular. It must have been really neat.
Yeah, sure it is. It is. I'm lucky enough. I live across the street from Van May, so he even stopped at my place of business yesterday. So he's he was shaking my hand, and there's a lot of people in this area that I'm fortunate enough to know, and they really all the congratulations and the high fives and text messages and Facebook messages. It's been overwhelming, but it just means so much to me just because, it just shows how much the racing community cares about you.
Yeah, it really does. I love where we're at, although it causes stalking, because I was sneaking through your Facebook and all of that, and I saw all of the congratulations, and I just think that is so neat. It really, truly is. Well, Tim, we offer, and we add our congratulations to you as well. We appreciate your time joining us here, and we wish you the best. You're running like you are. We'll likely talk to you further on down the season, but thanks for joining us and continued success.
Well, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon.
There we go. Tim Wagaman. Now that's a good story right there.
That is a really good story.
Man, he was rolling too, wasn't he?
He was. He made that move. It worked.
Yeah, it was a great move. And then I marvel in listening to him describe talking to you. Which is why race car drivers, and you're so different than I am. He closed in on lap traffic, and he said he didn't at that point didn't have to be the fastest car. He knew where he was, and
make his car as wide as you can.
I'm telling you what, I'd have drove it right out of the ballpark in turn number one, trying to pass that lap car.
I probably would have too. Hence why I'm now talking about racing.
Wow, there you go. His and he said, as a better race car driver, the maturity of knowing when to mash the button and when not to mash the button.
Yeah, and I heard in another interview, or his Victory Lane interview, where he said I was waiting to hear him. Like he was using his,
all of the senses.
Yeah, all the senses. If he could hear him underneath of him, he knew he'd have to step it up.
See, that's another thing that fascinates me. We had one time Terry McCarroll, when a track rubbered up, he just won the 360 National. He said he could smell it.
Yeah, it's the first thing you do is you smell it.
I'm just like, what you folks, what Tim does, just boggles my mind. I would be in the fetal position, curled up like a baby screaming if I did hot laps in one of those cars. So neat stuff. And a great story with Tim Wagaman joining us here. We appreciate him taking some time from a busy day. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I'm tired just listening to him.
That's neat, though. I love to hear people that are involved in their community.
Yeah.
It just sounds like a really well-rounded, cool guy.
Listening to look at his Facebook page, it was like the baseball people were congratulating him. back on the Facebook page, there was a lot of football pictures. I
saw some Tom Brady references too.
I saw, yeah,
I kind of like that. I almost mentioned
well,
it.
see, your deal, and I think he's a Steelers guy, though.
Yeah,
I think he's a Steelers guy.
I was afraid to ask because I thought he might be one of Ashley's buddies on the Steelers.
Yeah, see, that's right. Now, Ashley, they'd have been in here. Oh, God, it'd have been
mucking it up.
Yeah, that'd have been, exactly. So, fun stuff. Great talking to Tim Wagaman. We're going to step away. When we come back, Paulie Colangiovanni. I nailed it. Paulie, he joins us next.
Paulie.
Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTires.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the tire tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTires.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Aggressive Hydraulics provides solutions for virtually every industry that uses hydraulic cylinders. For instance, agriculture, construction, defense, emergency services, energy, food processing, forestry, marine, mining, railway, and even truck equipment. They design and manufacture mobile-style single-stage cylinders as well as multi-stage telescopic cylinders. It's a no one-size-fits-all approach with Aggressive Hydraulics. Check out their story at aggressivehydraulics.com.
Sunoco is a proud partner of Wing Nation. Not all fuels are created equal, so fill up with Sunoco Ultratech. Sunoco Ultratech is a top-tier detergent gasoline that is proven to make your engine run cleaner, longer, and more efficiently. Using the same detergent package as what is blended into some of Sunoco's high-performance race fuels, you can trust Ultratech for your everyday race. Whether you're headed to the track or just hitting the road, fill up with Sunoco Ultratech and fuel your best. So while Pennsylvania is up and running wide open, north of the border, New York State is not.
Yes.
And it's just painful.
I didn't realize until I did some research today how few races they ran in New York last year.
It's unreal. I mean, it's sad.
Almost worse than California.
Yeah, I think it is. I think California, because Marysville and some other tracks ran 360 races with no fans. I think California got much more racing
there's
in the New
so
York
many
State.
tracks in New York State.
And New York State is so awesome. We've talked about this before. So let's go. Now our winner, he had to go to Mississippi to get a win. Okay, but Paulie Colangiovanni, I think I got that right, joins us on the Dry Dean Hotline. Hello, Paulie. Welcome into the show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Okay, so is that how things are in New York, where you have to drive all the way to Mississippi to get a race in?
Kind of. We kind of usually drive to PA. That's like the closest state for us last year. We only ran one race up here.
Oh, my
Good God almighty, yeah.
That's crazy. So you go run with the USCS, and you passed just some guy named Terry Gray for a win the other night. How neat was that to get your first USCS win and pass a guy like Terry, who's got he's a Hall of Famer, should be a Hall of Famer?
It definitely builds up my confidence a bunch. He's a great guy, a good racer. He came up after the race and talked to me about it, and it just boosted up my confidence enough for some of these 410 races, and I definitely learn a lot running around with different series.
Paulie, I want to dive into that a little bit deeper, because that USCS tour that you jumped into, you talk about Terry Gray, but Danny Smith is down
Mark
there,
Smith.
and Mark Smith and everything like that. There has got to be a wealth of wisdom a young race car driver can learn by racing against those guys and communicating and hanging out afterward and talking about it. That has got to be extremely valuable for a young racer like yourself.
Yeah, it definitely does help out me a lot. I don't know too much about that, but my crew chief, Doug, he's got 30 years of experience. We definitely had a fast race car down there, and we were talking to Mark and Schaefer and them guys, but we all think they were running just a little bit stiffer than us. So we definitely learned a lot down there, and hope to be back down there soon.
Paul, you also said that last year when you couldn't get many races in New York, you went down to Pennsylvania. I think you ran a 410 a few times. How much did that help you as a driver, getting that experience at a little bit faster of a pace?
It definitely is a big learning curve. PA down there, they don't mess around, so I definitely had to adjust my driving skills a little bit and definitely just get used to the power-weight ratio a little bit for the car.
Paulie, what strikes me interesting about you, Cicero, New York. When I was a kid, one of my all-time heroes was a guy named Jimmy Winks, who's long, long gone, from Cicero, New York. And we used to stop at a place called Plainville Farms, which was a restaurant there in Cicero, New York. I say all of this, Cicero's north of Syracuse. Yeah. How does a kid in Cicero, New York fall in love and choose sprint car racing?
Oh, I think it all started when my dad was young. He used to race quarter midgets at the Syracuse Smile quarter midget track, the smaller one.
Yep.
And ever since then, he's just bringing me to our races since I was a little kid, and I've always loved it and wanted to try it. And I'm so thankful to have him back me up on this opportunity.
So, Paulie, how did you go in racing? I know that you ran some micros, then you ESS champ in 2019. What was your progression?
I'd say definitely when I jumped from micros to 360s. Tommy Wickham, we're still good buddies with him. He definitely showed us the ropes on 360 New York racing, and Kenny Murphy also helped us a lot.
Paulie, the number on your car, the number 10, if I read this right, you've had that number since you were 4 years old, snowmobile racing. How did you pick that number?
I think I used to play hockey, and that was just always my number 10.
Okay.
Wow. So you're down there racing with USCS. Are you guys staying in Florida? Or I'm assuming you're not traveling back and forth to New York State or Mississippi. You were this weekend. What are the logistics of a guy from New York racing in Mississippi and in all sorts of parts of the Southeast?
We had a truck down there for the All-Star Show, and we stayed down there for about a month. Me and my dad ran back to do a couple work-related things, and we left our crew chief down there to work on the car. It's just it's real tough, you know what I mean, when you're traveling from one state to the next, or, you know what I mean, other sides of the country, just to keep up on the racing program and also keep up on your work schedule, too.
You mentioned a name that is synonymous with upstate New York sprint car racing, Doug Emery. When it comes to been there, done that, done it all, wrote the book, sold the T-shirts, did every aspect of that, knows those tracks, you know, is as good as any dirt modified driver up in that area does as well. How important is it for you, your father, to partner and to bring a guy with that experience on to bring you through the ranks here in the 360 world?
I'd say that was definitely the turning point in my career. I felt like I've always just been missing a little bit of setup, but once we brought him in there, it was just a turning point. I feel like the car just hooked up more, and it's always good to have him around.
Paulie, I read that you won your first ESS race at the Autodrome Granby, and it's one of my all-time favorite racetracks. Have you ever been there, Postman?
I have not been there, no.
Oh, okay. I don't know if they do this anymore, but they used to announce everything in French first and then in English. But the fans there are just crazy. They fill the place. There used to be, it might be long gone, an open bar in the pit area. Really cool environment. Talk about that win. Is the establishment as cool as it used to be when I used to race there years and years ago?
Yeah, definitely. It's a really cool place. The atmosphere is cool. And sometimes they do spectators blind races where somebody's blindfolded driving the car and the other guy's pointing them out. But it's definitely a good place to go up there and win. It was a pretty emotional night for me and my dad. You know what I mean? We worked at it for a couple of years until we finally got the monkey off our back.
Yeah, I mean, spectator blind races. Holy cow!
It's you got to experience it if you've never
it's
been.
Unique.
Yeah,
I mean it's
Canadians.
Yeah,
that kind of says you're surrounded by them. You got posse to the south and Canadians to the north. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what you New Yorkers. You're stuck in the middle there with some kind of sanity. So, Paulie, my question is. And I know this is, I'm asking you a hunch, okay? What do you think racing in New York is going to look like this year? Do you think, I know everyone has their schedules out, but is it looking like something's going to happen this year? How much do you think is going to happen?
I'm not 100% sure. Yeah. I know our governor said we could allow, I think, 33% people in the grandstand or something, but I'm just not sure if, you know what I mean, the tracks are going to make enough money to want to pull the sprint cars or other divisions there. So I guess we'll just see what happens, because I'm not 100% sure.
How difficult is that for you to plan? I know you mentioned the business with your father and working. Like, logistically, you're hoping to race close to home, but you might end up traveling Pennsylvania with a different motor or Mississippi, wherever you might go. How hard is that to plan for?
It definitely is hard. You know what I mean? We got to get prepped in the race shop all week long and get ready for the races. But honestly, I think it's a little bit easier, quicker of a turnaround with Doug working in the shop all week and my dad. But it definitely still is hard to plan race one week and then you go to the next track the next week.
We have talked at length on Wing Nation multiple times, I don't know about at length, but multiple times about that pocket of 360 racing where you're at. From Canada, you have Oshweekend and the Southern Ontario Sprints. You have the Patriots, you have the Empire Super Sprints, and this year even Outlaw Speedway on Friday nights running weekly 360 sprint cars. So, Paulie, all things considered, when the world gets right, you can run a whole lot of races up there in the state of New York State against some of the best 360 drivers in the world that kind of roll in there. It's a pretty neat spot to run 360 sprint car races, right?
Yeah, where our shop's located, we got Brewerton, Fulton, Weedsport, Utica, Rome, Can-Am. They're all within an hour of us, so I think we're in a pretty good prime location.
Well, you're still a pretty young racer. What is your long-term goal? Is it World of Outlaws? Would you like to try some pavement? Are you happy, with your family business, or if it is family, whatever your work is, racing locally? What would you like to see yourself doing in a few years?
I definitely say in a few years I'd like to try maybe the All-Star Circuit of Champions or the Outlaws. Just we have it's hard to get a bunch of time off. You know what I mean? I'm trying to work. My dad's working, so it's just. We just need to get a couple good sponsors and maybe a year or two off, take off from work, and hit the road.
That sounds great. Mm-hmm. That really does. Got a little taste of the road life down in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. A little taste of Victory Lane as
Pete
well.
Walton.
Yeah, exactly. Our buddy Pete Walton for sure. Paulie, we congratulate you on the win. We appreciate you taking some time out. We really hope that you race around home a lot this year. We really do. But wherever your road travels, we wish you the best as you roll into 2021.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
There we go. That is Paulie Colangiovanni. I was better when I was not trying to say it.
Well, it's Craig's fault. Our producer got you all messed up.
Colangiovanni. There we are. I nailed it afterward. Nailed it. Boom. That's right. Oh, man. We're done. Goodbye. Oh, wait a minute. No, we have more coming up. So, great stuff. That area, I had planned last year, okay? I always go on a couple sprint car junkets. Oh, this year. This is not.
Oh, boy.
Okay, this year. I'll tell you about that. Okay, we're just chit-chatting here. Last year, what I was going to do, they do the ESS Central New York Sprint Week around the 4th of July.
Yep.
Okay. MRN was off the 4th of July because the Cup race was at Indy. Okay, and Indy has their own radio network. I was going to fly on Wednesday up to Syracuse, and I forget whether it was Brewerton, Utica. There was Can-Am and Canandaigua.
They're always there on that weekend.
Canandaigua. Then I was going to shoot down to hit Williams Grove and Port Royal, the end of Pennsylvania Speed Week, and I was going to shoot back up to Utica, Rome, and then Monday morning fly to Syracuse.
Gosh, I love that. I have such great memories of running the Empire Super Sprints, and I want to quickly mention one of my longtime crew guys.
Oh, I read this.
Passed away just this week, and it just kind of broke my heart and brought back all those great times we had in New York racing those tracks. And
such great racers.
Dave
up
Sharrock is a great guy, but.
Yeah,
like I said, the memories that we had and the racing, the experience that I got, awesome.
Priceless. Yeah, priceless stuff up there. It really is.
And there's such great racing. We don't always talk about it because it's mostly 360 racing, but it's
big block modified land.
Yes.
Which that's what I grew up covering for Gator Racing News. Yeah. That's what I covered, the beloved modified. So my plan this year, I'm gonna do. I've never done the King's Royal, so we've got 2 of them. So I think I'm just going to go up Thursday and catch both. I'm gonna not check off 1 King's Royal, but 2
Look
King's
at that.
Royal. I mean, I'm getting serious about that. But in July, ASCS National Tour, they do a speed week. And I think I'm going to jet set into Little Rock, Arkansas, an area I've never been to in my life. I've been to Memphis once or twice, but I've never been to Little Rock. And they've got I-30.
Yep.
3 tracks there. What's I-30 West Memphis is West Memphis I-30? Is that the same?
The ditch.
Yeah. Riverside.
Yeah.
Riverside, I-30, and one other one there.
Wow.
And I'm going to study all about Memphis sprint car history because I love the thought of that.
Yeah.
So
hit a little Beale Street.
You bet I'm going to hit Beale Street. There's some rib joints there that have got my name all over it.
I knew we were going to go to
They've already
food.
got my name on the reservation list down there. Coming in, incoming.
Dear.
Yes, exactly. It's going to be great. So that's my game plan. And unfortunately, I looked at but now with MRN, we're at Road America during 4th of July. I had that one year where that ESS weekend would have worked. And we'll see, that's the beauty of what we do. Time changes and all things, everything constant is change. So speaking of change, California. We're going to talk a little bit more about that and continue on here on Wing Nation. Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTires.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the tire tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTires.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength. For a year-round high-quality eating experience, look no further than Sage Fruit apples, pears, and cherries. Not only is their produce healthy, but they are grown with such care and precision that you can count on each piece of fruit having exceptional flavor. Sage Fruit, it's our first choice for quick and easy snacking.
Circle B Diecast is the new diecast outlet from Plan B Sales. What started as Lionel and Chase Authentics apparel distributor has grown into the largest distributor of diecast and now includes Auto World Greenlight Collectibles, Brand Art, Sam Bass Artwork, and University of Racing lines. They have a huge inventory. The folks at Circle B Diecast love racing and support drivers like Kyle Larson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Christopher Bell, and many others with sponsorships and partnerships. And on orders over $20, use promo code MRN for free shipping. Check them out, circlebdiecast.com.
Over the years, Dryden has stood for uncompromised value and proven performance. Known as the hardest working brand in heavy-duty lubrication, Dryden's heritage is made in America and made to last. Dryden products work to increase the life and enhance the efficiency of your equipment in the toughest conditions. Learn more about Dryden's products at Dryden.com. From grassroots racing to NASCAR, Dryden is a proud supporter of racing everywhere. So I think what we're going to do now is I think we need to get Gary Selzy and Dominic, our best minds from California. Gary Selzy and Dominic Selzy. Okay, they're our best guys out there. Okay, because we got to figure out what's going on out there.
Yeah.
Because this is getting serious now. Okay, we were okay. Fingers crossed. Outlaws canceled. Fingers crossed. ASCS boom canceled. Now Trophy Cup. There was going to be 2 of them this year. First one in May canceled. I don't know. It's very, very similar to what Paulie has up in New York State too. Just can't seem to figure out in some of these states how to get things opened up. And it's frustrating as all get out because we want to see our California sprint cars. We want to see them cowboy up, get on one of those, get up there at Tulare where you're bouncing it off the wall every 3 times a lap and getting after it.
And I think for these racers, it's just so frustrating because you see other states racing.
Oh, that's got to be the worst thing ever.
What is?
This is where pay-per-view is probably. If you're a California race car driver, pay-per-view is probably the worst thing that ever happened.
And it doesn't make any sense. We don't need to get in it. Any discussion, but it doesn't make any sense.
No, but that's why I think we need our best men, Gary and Dominic Selzy, and let them send them up to Sacramento for some negotiating.
Let's have them on and just have them talk.
Just have them talk, exactly. And we'll just go out there and just listen to it. So now King of the West opener is March 20th at the Stockton Dirt Track. They have worked hard. The 2021 season heavily backloaded, which makes sense to do that. So I think they have 20 events. I think 15 of them are after July 1st. So good thinking by Jim Allen and the gang there.
Yeah.
To me, the best news is the Sunny Valley Bacon returns as the Dash sponsor. So what do they do with all the bacon that they're not giving away?
They should send it to you.
They should send it to me. That's what they should do because
At least
they can't.
Some of it,
because they can't give it away.
Can't go in the grandstands.
Can't go in the grandstands because there are no grandstands. That's what they should do. They should send it to me for proper consumption.
It will not go to waste.
It will not go to waste. That's for sure. So we're yucking it up and we're cutting it up because we're so stinking frustrated with what's going on out there, and I can't even imagine what our California family is going through out there. I mean, it's just so fingers crossed. I hope the fact that, we've backloaded the King of the West season, we can get into a robust second half of the year there and get after it. I mean, I know these 360 races are happening at Marysville and Placerville, and they're doing it with no grandstands. I know in some places the drivers are accepting less purse money.
Yeah, and they're just doing
it's just not what we need to be doing. I mean, I get it, and I love it, and I respect it, and I appreciate it, and I'm glad the tracks are willing to do it. And I know the racers are glad to be racing, but we have such potential in California, and this thing has just gutted it. So we'll see what happens. So, hey, we have got, oh my gosh, we're going to go behind the scenes. We're going to talk to Cody Jacobs on our podcast. How about that? Cody's great crew chief for David Gravel. So we're going to talk to him on the podcast, and we're going to talk to this weekend on our TV show, Wednesday night and Rev TV in Canada, and Saturday on Mav TV, Ashley and I talked to Freddie Raymer.
Oh, boy.
How about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not well. We didn't have to hit the edit button. It wasn't Fred. It was
it's
Freddie.
not Fred. Yeah.
It was the much tamer Freddie Raymer, the two-time champion from last year. He won both Lincoln and Williams Grove. So, hey, we appreciate Paulie and Tim joining us here on Wing Nation. More important than all of that, thank you for joining us here this week.